Hey peeps, it's Tripl-L. Now let's talk Fairy Tail chapter 514, The Dragon Seed. So this was a chapter of answers. I think the biggest answer that I'm happy with is the reason for motion sickness. That was a pretty cool little detail to get. Now let's talk about the rest of the chapter. You know, I don't want to start speculating because Eileen is just a tease. She's such a tease. She gives information, but she still doesn't make it super clear. Yeah, this chapter gave us a lot of knowledge based on the Dragon Slayers and their origin. Heck, we got to see the creation of dragon slaying magic. That's all cool, but we were originally here for the whole Eileen and Erza plot. Like, that's the thing that I'm still kind of curious about. And at the end of this chapter, we end off with the idea that, yeah, Erza is now in Eileen's womb. The question I have to ask now is who's the father? Is it the giant dragon? Is it Belsarion? It's like, it might be. Or is it some kind of weird version birth where it's like Eileen got pregnant with it because of the implantation of dragon magic? I don't know. And then there's like the dragon seed. I feel the dragon seed's a metaphor for like the process that causes dragonification. Yeah, no, this chapter, like, you know, it makes things very questionable again when it's like the whole Erza thing, because now we know like Erza is in Eileen's body and she is still being called you are me and I am you. If Erza is, let's say, okay, let's look at the possibilities here for Erza. She is in Eileen's womb when Eileen is turning into a dragon. That might mean that Erza is going to be horrifically affected. We know that Eileen has problems with things that are ugly, and she has messed with people based on that before. So the possibility that Erza came out ugly is pretty huge. Okay, so that's the possibility of Erza coming out looking kind of dragonish. But let's see the possibility of how Erza got in her stomach in the first place. Eileen had a totally normal relationship with I hope a man, and it was in like the heat of war. You know, they thought they were gonna die at some point, and maybe they just did it right there, and that's how Erza was conceived. Or maybe she had her way with her giant dragon overlord. Maybe he had magic that allowed him to turn into a human. I mean, like Acnologia can go between dragon and human. Why can't this guy? You know, I think that's reasonable. He could turn himself into a human and they could have one night. I think that'd be adorable in its own little way. Or Erza doesn't have a father, not really, and she was just an egg cell that was in Eileen at the time that dragon magic was inserted, and with the insertion of dragon magic, it somehow mutated that freaking egg cell. So because there was only one piece of genetic information in there and the rest of it was supplemented by dragon magic, I can assume that then Erza is effectively a full-on clone of Eileen, only she has the addition of weird dragon magic. And because she was conceived in such a strange way, maybe the effects did something different to her. I'm really partial to that one because that one justifies the reasoning of they are the same person. And it's really because, like, for clones, right? If a mother was to have a child and the only genetic information that was taken at that moment to make the child was just the mother's, and then like the other bit was, I don't know, fixed with, the other bit was filled in with more information from the same mother, that is technically a clone. So that's what I'm going for. I think that's too complicated for Fairy Tail though, so I'm not too sure if that's going to pan out. Anyway, guys, I'm sorry. I'm just still caught up on the whole Erza plot. Like, that one is the one that's really interesting to me. Everything else in the chapter, though, like, makes sense. I'm not brushed up on my Fairy Tail history, so I'm not exactly sure the timeline of events. I do wonder where Acnologia steps into this timeline. He might be the king of another country or something, who knows. Anyway, it was cool to see the creation of enchantment magic. It was cool to see the creation of dragon slaying magic. It was cool to know Acnologia is wrong. Eileen knew enchantment magic before she met Zeref. Zeref's time is most likely after this. And oh yeah, it was cool to see that Natsu's memories, he was told by Anna way back when that that the person that made dragon slaying magic was Eileen. And speaking of Natsu, like the memory guides say something very interesting, that they don't really know anything that Natsu doesn't know, is effectively what they're saying. So this means that everything that they have said up to this point are all memories that Natsu has. It's just they are memories that he can't access without going on a really hardcore vision quest. So, you know, that part was really interesting. I'm excited to see where we're going with Natsu, because Natsu right now is being cuddled by Lucy and Happy, so that was adorable. You know, other things. Yeah, you know, just the Eileen stuff. That's really all that's got me really wondering. I'm just really curious about, I want to know now. I just want to know the origins of Erza. It was cool that the Dragon Slayers got tied into it. I do wonder why Eileen doesn't use Dragon Slaying magic. I think that'd be really cool for her to do. Maybe she can't use it. Who knows? Maybe that's some kind of trick she came up with so that she doesn't turn into a full-on dragon. Anyway, oh, other lines. Because Eileen is always so unclear, she tells us that she is the mother of all Dragon Slayers, and obviously that means figuratively. But you know, some people will read that line and they'll think, oh my god, she's the actual mother of all the Dragon Slayers. It's like, no, she's like the mother in terms of the power. But of course, Eileen is always going to talk in these metaphors, so it makes it kind of harder to understand what's a metaphor and what isn't. Because last chapter, she told us she's the queen of dragons. Yeah, technically, she's the queen of a kingdom that happened to have dragons. She's not really the queen of dragons. I at least, that's how I'm interpreting it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she is the overall sovereign of these people, but then that means what's her relationship with the clearly big guy right there, you know? Anyway, I don't know. I feel really agitated for this, but I think I'm just mostly annoyed at Eileen. I think like I just want to know what's going on with Erza. I kind of just want to get this plot over with. I'd be much more interested in the Natsu plot because that's, well, he's the main character, so that plot's kind of the one that's running all of Fairy Tail. Anyway, you know, other things in this chapter are fine. It's just getting information on the birth of dragon slaying magic. And like I said at the beginning, I very much love that we now know what the weakness of dragon slayers, where it comes from. It's from just good eyesight not matching well with your hearing. And that's actually very clever. Other things in this chapter, I can't think of anything else that I really want to talk about. Yeah, even at the end, the dragon seed thing, is that legitimately a seed that's inside of the people? Is that how they implanted magic? I mean, I don't know. I have no idea. Anyway, it was cool to see the dragonification process. That was something. Anyway, yeah, you know, my overall thoughts here. The story of the Dragon Slayers, the origin, that's cool. Natsu continuing his vision quest, that's cool. The finding out of the weakness, that's cool. Eileen being unclear and saying weird things, and Erza being in Eileen's womb without any kind of clarification on who that father is, that's kind of annoying, but that's most likely going to be answered in the next chapter. It's just, you know, this chapter ends with the whole thing that you are me and I am you. You know, when it does that, it's just, oh, what are you trying to say, Eileen? I don't understand you. And why is Eileen being so calm right now? She hates Erza. This has been something that's been established. How is she being so calm? Is it because she realized, oh, I am so much stronger than this monster child that I do not have to be scared of her anymore? Is that what she's thinking? I think that's what it is. Yeah, Eileen, man. Anyway, guys, let me know what you thought of this chapter. I don't know if I like it. Let me think. Let me really think. I have to be objective about this. Eileen infuriates me, but you know, I would say the fact that the character incites this kind of feeling from me is speaking well of the character. But like, Eileen infuriates me for all the wrong reasons. It's just because she's super unclear, she's super metaphoric. I don't like listening to her. I don't like assuming anything she says is true. But she's like, she's not even that big a part of a chapter. Oh wait, no, she's like the entire chapter this time around. Maybe she's 3/4 of the chapter. Yeah, you know, it's the parts that annoy me are just the parts with Eileen and Erza. Everything else is totally welcome. Heck, even seeing Eileen come up with enchantment magic, that's kind of cool. And finding out how how the whole war started in the first place, that's cool. You know what? It was alright. This chapter was alright. I just don't like Eileen's just Eileen. I don't like the way she doesn't help. She doesn't help waiting for fairy tale chapters. She says things that are super unclear and makes it hard to guess what she's trying to say. I'm gonna leave it there. You guys let me know what you think. I am so sorry. I am really biased on this one. But till next time, I hope you have a great day.